Obare, and Westwick Institute Limited. The upshot of this particular order should be looked into the context of other two orders which have been issued before this matter as has been heard and determined by the Honorable B.M. Chelotti, Principal Magistrate. Basically, the genesis of this issue arose when the said Edgar Obare, through his Twitter handle and social media platforms, uttered defamatory words in relation to the mentioned individuals who have suffered irreparable loss. And it's very unfortunate because as an opinion leader who we respect and well known as a blogger, Edgar Obare should know that his right of expression and right of speech ends where the rights and the freedoms of another individual start. Simply meaning, it cannot be that because you have a right of expression and right of speech that you go ahead and defame or utter malicious statements to an individual who is helpless and who may not necessarily have the same media platform to respond accordingly. When these statements, which I think are well known to us, were presented and aired in the media, we wrote a demand letter to the said Edgar Obare requesting him to pull down, extract, and delete those defamatory words to my clients. Instead, he opted to go ahead and broadcast further and not comply with that demand. My clients, being aggrieved, did the right thing before the eyes of God and man and filed a civil case in Milimani, and the court found that they had a case which had overwhelming chances of success, and the first order was an order of injunction. That order of injunction restrained the said Edgar Obare from four things. One, he was stopped from further broadcasting or from further airing of information pertaining to my good client who is on my left here, Obare, and the director of Westwick Institute, Christina Lewis, who I think is around, and the very able students who are behind me for Westwick Institute Limited. The law is very clear that if somebody is aggrieved or unhappy with a court order, you have two options. One, you can file for a review before the same court and ask you to set it aside, or you can move to the High Court or a higher court to appeal. Regrettably, the said Edgar Obare did not do the two options that were provided for in law, but he refused to pull down, he refused to extract those defamatory words, and he refused to give an apology as the court order had dictated. Felt aggrieved by that action because court orders are not issued in vain. And I want to say this to the members of the press, and I'm happy that you are here, that as a civilized society, when people do not respect court orders, we are likely to go back to the rule of the jungle, the law of anarchy. Because if somebody can get a court order and they're not able to enjoy the fruits of that order, then people will be forced to use extrajudicial ways to satisfy their rights. And that's not an area we wish to be or find ourselves into. When Edgar Obare refused to comply and we served his lawyers to that effect, they came to court and said whatever they said, and they had the right of reply, so he was aware of those particular court orders. So we filed for contempt, and the court allowed our prayers for contempt because the court felt that having a court order and somebody not complying with it, then it shows the highest level of disrespect, the highest level of contempt, and the highest level of disregard of the rule of law. So when we went to court yesterday, the matter was coming for purposes of warrants of arrest to issue because he has already been found in contempt. What that simply means is that having been found in contempt, he has two options. One, he should present himself in court and the court will pronounce itself on the question of fine or issue a jail term as the court may please, a jail term not exceeding 6 months. Because now this case has moved from civil to criminal. And I say speak to you, I'm under instructions to tell you as members of the press that the said Edgar Obare is now a fugitive whom my clients have offered 100,000 for anybody who may tell us the whereabouts of the said particular person, because he should present himself in court as per order 1 of this particular court order, and I will read it verbatim. That the Honorable Court hereby issues some